All right, I think we are live. Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. This is the underground laboratory where we create robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. And today we're doing something a little bit different. I am launching a Kickstarter for my comic book project, Young and the Dead. And quite frankly, I'm a little bit nervous. Got some butterflies in the stomach, but that's okay. Kind of a big thing when you do something like this. If any one of you guys out there have ever launched a Kickstarter, it's a little nerve-wracking in the beginning. So we're going to see how that goes. But yeah, so let's see. I'm going to do some other stuff too. I'll probably show you, I want to show you some of the rewards and some of the different things, talk about the Kickstarter, talk about what it's all about, what my comic book's all about, and do a little bit of zombie sketching. And I've got the chat going. I see a couple people in there. I see Marshall, I see Peter, I see Abe, I see, yeah, so that's super awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So yeah, let's see. So I guess before I go ahead and click this thing, for anyone that's not familiar with the comic book is about, it is Young and the Dead, no zombies allowed. I hardly ever mentioned sort of that tagline, but the idea behind that is if I ever continue another series, then I'll have a different tagline for that version. I don't know. We've still got a couple more issues to go. And if you've been waiting patiently, it takes me a while to get these out. So it's been a little while since I've launched the last Kickstarter, but the new issue 4 is up. All of the issues will be available in this Kickstarter when I launch it. So if you need to get caught up, if you only have a certain issue, you can get that. There's all kinds of different add-ons and things like that. If you can kind of customize whatever you want, and there are tiers and everything, and maybe we'll go through some of those and show you some of the different rewards and things like that. But yeah, so Young and the Dead is a kids versus zombies story. It is in the vein of those old kid-centric like action adventure movies of the 80s, like Goonies and Monster Squad, Explorers, more recently like Stranger Things, if you like that kind of stuff. Another one that gets forgotten, I think nowadays, is a little more recent, than not done in the 80s, but was Super 8, which was awesome, which is another homage to that kind of type of storytelling that we got in the 80s, these kid action adventure films, which we don't get a whole lot now, but I am glad that we've got things like Stranger Things, but mine is sort of that same type of thing, only the twist, I guess, is that it was with zombies. So it's kids in the zombie apocalypse, fighting zombies and everything. So that's what that's all about. And so if you are unfamiliar, and if that sounds like something you're interested in, you might want to check out the Kickstarter. Now, we are not actually live yet, so I guess, oh boy, let's see. Let's see about doing that. So what do we got to do here? So I am going to screen share. Let's see, let's try this. All right, you guys seeing that? Okay, boy. All right, here we go. All right, so ready to launch. So I guess I've got to commit to this thing. And man, this is the button. So I don't know, do we do a little countdown? Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch, drum roll. Oh my, okay, this was not foreseen. I have a project error. Set your rewards and your shipping. Oh, this is live, people. All right, let me go back to me. Shoot, I can't believe this. Why didn't it tell me that in the beginning? All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. Add rewards. I don't know. I don't, what is wrong? Oh man, I cannot believe this. Drum roll in the chats. Yeah, unfortunately, we're stuck here. So I don't know. It's not giving me like it's not giving me a flag on what the problem is. Let me click this. I don't want to show that. Sorry, everyone. It said I was ready to go. You think it would have told me if there was an issue? I don't. Let's see. This is not good. All righty. So I'm going to exit out of here. Launch. Rewards must be scheduled to start and end after your campaign starts. Okay, I don't know what that means. Rewards must be scheduled to start and end after your campaign starts. Okay, so maybe there's a date here that's wrong. Let's see, starts. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, here. Well, that is. Let me click on this. See how to change this in here. To start. So it is the 13th, right? So let me see if I can change that. Let me see if that will work. All right. Thank you for being patient in the chat. I was not expecting this. All right. All right. Okay, I am going to try this one more time. Hopefully that change I made will fix it. Let me go screen share. Now I don't even know if I want to do the drum roll, the countdown. So prepare to launch. Let's try this again. Okay, now I got to sign this. Hopefully that change I made will work. Launch now. I just hit launch. Congratulations, the project is live. All right. Okay, awesome. So what is the next step? So what are we going to do here? So let me see. I'm going to do moving some cameras around so I can try to do some live drawing here. So bear with me. Hopefully the audio is not too crazy here. Let me see. All right. So now I just watched one of these Kickstarters that Will Terry did. Now he's obviously got a way bigger audience than me and everything, and I think he did probably some more upfront promotion. So I don't anticipate that this is going to go as well. Although I do see a lot of people in the chat. So awesome. And you know, if you guys, obviously I would love it if you back it, because I'd love to get this book out to you, because I think you guys will really enjoy it. But if you can't, if you could share this or whatever. Speaking of sharing, I went to share this on Facebook. I'm going to try this again let's see. Let me see if I can do this. Because I tried to share this and see if I get the same error. So here we go. I want to show you this. Let me know if you ever got anything like this. So if it does it again, because before it says there was an error. So I'm going to try to share this on Facebook. Yeah, oops, something went wrong. So this just is not my day, evidently, because Facebook will not let me share. So how do I get back to Kickstarter? All right. So anyway, I'll kind of run you through the campaign here real quick. Of course, the video, I'm not going to play the video right now. I will probably post the video on my YouTube so you can check that out. Of course, this is the cover for the latest issue. And then I've got some sample artwork here. You can kind of see the book is black and white, which to me, I kind of like, because I like that indie comics feel. I like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it seems like zombie titles in general, a lot of them are in black and white, even though this sort of is in the 80s. So, you know, I guess, you know, if I ever collect it into a trade, maybe consider that. But so I've got different, and you know, I went with sort of a video game theme, because this particular issue, a lot of the action takes place in an old 80s arcade. So I kind of went with that theme. So we've got insert coin, where you can just pledge whatever you want. The $5 tier, you get a digital copy of whatever you choose, plus a virtual high five. I did that last time, and I don't know if people kind of dig that or not. At the $10 tier, you get I think all 4 digital issues, and then once you get to the $15, that's where you start getting the physical. And there's also a lot of cool stretch goals and rewards and things that I'll kind of show you. But you can choose whatever comic you want. And there's add-ons too. If there's not like a tier, like for instance, if you want to go 15 and you already have like issue 1 and you want the new issue, but you also want, you don't need another issue 1, but you want the other 2, there's add-ons down here. I'll show you at the bottom. right here. There's some add-ons here. So you just add, when you pledge, it'll say add whatever your pledge is, and then it'll say or more. So you would just add, if you wanted to add an extra issue, just add an extra $5 to your pledge. And then at the end, when I send out a survey, you just tell me what the extra was for, what you want. And just to let everyone know that the shipping is included domestically. So if you're in the US, the shipping is included, so there won't be any. That's something I always hate, especially like when you go to buy like concert tickets or something like that, and there's all these extra fees that are tacked on and stuff. So I didn't want any of that. So the price is what the price is if you are in the US. Now, it's unfortunate if you are outside of the US, because it's just you know, something you have to deal with in that shipping, and it's always expensive, and it really sucks. So one thing that I try to do for my international backers, yes, you will have to pay extra for backing, but, and I'm going to skip around here, but here if you see international shipping, and I did this on my last Kickstarter, and I try to do it for my orders and everything. People that order internationally, there's no way I can get around the shipping. So it's going to cost $20 extra outside of the US. But what I like to do, because that doesn't increase the weight so much if I throw in an extra print or some buttons or things like that. So basically you're getting, if you order internationally, you're getting some exclusives. You're getting this exclusive print here. This is only, you know, going to be available through international backers. I'll probably sign them and number them and everything. So you get a little something extra. So it's basically like you're paying for more stuff, and that kind of negates the cost of that shipping. So that's something I like to do. And hopefully that will kind of ease the pain of that international shipping, because it kind of sucks. But there's nothing else I can do, because it's expensive. So anyway, back to like the different levels and everything. And I will get to the chat and everything. Let's see. So where are we? Okay. So probably your best. Oh, and to let you guys know right now, if you're in the chat, and we'll get to this real quick, there is an early bird special running right now that includes an extra like original sketch card in color. And that's limited amounts. I think I set it for just today. That's probably what was messing me up in the beginning, because the date was off or something. Oh, you know what it was I was planning on launching this Kickstarter yesterday, and I ran into some other issues where I thought, because I ran a Kickstarter before, that all the banking information was correct and I didn't have to go through that process, but it made me do that again. So I got pushed back a day. But that's all right. That's all right. These things happen. And we figured it out. So anyway, so $35 level, that's kind of the main thing, especially if you don't have any of the books. That's where you're going to get all the physical copies of the first 4 issues, plus the digital copies and everything. And take into consideration, if we can get those stretch goals, you're going to get some cool stuff too. The $50 level, you're going to get an exclusive print. I did this last time, and I'll show maybe I'll show some of that stuff. Some of the the physical stuff that I did last time around. So this time you're going to get an exclusive zombie mask that you can cut it out and wear it. I don't know who's going to wear it, or you're just going to keep it. Maybe it's a cool collectible, or frame it or whatever. And I say that like, I don't know, is anyone really going to frame it? But I've seen people actually frame stuff. I remember Holly Brown, actually, when she got my Kickstarter, she actually framed all the trading cards, which I thought was really cool. So that's awesome. And that's one of the stretch things that we'll get into, is the trading card set. So at 55, that's the beat the clock level. So if you want to jump on that right away, those are in limited quantities, and that does include an original sketch card in color. And I'll probably maybe do some of these sketch cards on the YouTube channel. There's a lot of stuff. Hopefully you're going to see a lot of content on my YouTube channel, because I need to let people know about this, because no matter how many times you put this stuff out there, it's like never enough. And you always worry that you're spamming people and everything, but inevitably you get people that are like, whoa, you're running a Kickstarter and it's almost wrapped up, or it has wrapped up and I didn't even know about it. you should have promoted it more. So I'm not going to be shy about promoting it. So hopefully you guys won't. I know like the core people that really follow me and everything. If you're really into my stuff, you may get a little bombarded, but if you just bear with me for the duration of this campaign, it will all go back to normal and you won't hear so much from me anymore. But you guys are the cool ones. You guys are the ones that I know would understand because you guys follow me. So anyway, let's see. So that's the beat the clock, and then we get into the higher tiers and everything. And some of these I just put up there just because you never know. Somebody, maybe they've got some money to spend, maybe they got the taxes back, and they're like, wow, this guy's giving me a lot of content and stuff over the years, so I just want to give back. But anyway, so we get into like the little pricier levels, like the $75 level, where you get these aren't limited. I think they are limited, but they're not. There's no limit to time. So, and that's what I'm going to work on today, is one of these zombie sketches. So, but this sketch level will include one of these zombie sketches. They're all original. They're one of a kind. You know, of course, they're signed. It's weird because I can sign an original sketch, but if it's a real original sketch, it already kind of has my mark on it. So, but I'll, sign it anyway. And, and then the first 4 issues are actually signed on this too. So if you want the autographed copies and everything, you get that. Then we get into, and I'm going to show some of these off. But one thing I do, and I'm going to probably do another video where I talk about this as well, but I do these mini comics, and they're handmade, and you can also purchase these. I'll just kind of show you. We go down here for the add-ons. They're $15 each, but they're very customized. They're put together by me, like the issue 1 in particular, and they're not available. They've been sold out on my website for a while. Sold out, and I make them as I go, and there are in limited numbers, so I have it written down how many I've already actually put out in the world. So once it reaches a certain point, there won't be any more. But I kind of goes in waves where I make them and then I sell out, and then I wait to produce them. So if you've been at my website, you will see right now they are sold out. So they will be available for the first time in a while on the Kickstarter, and plus the issue 4 will be available too. So these issues are just more. Like I said, they're hand done. I cut like the little zombie hands and everything, kind of gatefold covers and everything. I cut those out by hand. I make the little nooses for the issue 2, and then issue 3 has sort of a welding mask, which one of the characters wears in that issue, and the new one. And the picture that shows here, it was just a quick mock-up, but I'm going to try to make this look even better than that. We're going to do some cool stuff with that, and I'll probably show you how I do that. But anyway, so those, with this level, let's see, where are we? Yeah, so with this level 7, the high score, one of those is included. I think you can pick which one you want. Oh, no, it says I guess it just says 4, but if you like message me, I can give you probably whatever one you want. And then I've got for any of you comic book shop owners. Now this one, unfortunately, is limited only to the US, because I went to weigh this thing because there's so many comics involved, what it would cost to ship to outside of the US. It was just so much that anyone has a comic store, they're not going to probably make any profit from selling the books because it would just be too much. So I've got that one I've got to keep in the US. So, but other than that, everything else is available outside of the US. And I'm getting a lot of, I haven't looked, and no one spoil it for me. I haven't looked at I'm afraid to look at the ticker to see who's pledging, but I do have a lot of people in the chat that say they have pledged. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I will, before I kind of switch over my camera over to the drawing board, I will maybe have to take a look. So I'm not expecting the fund in the first hour like Will Terry did, but yeah, if we can fund, if we funded in a day, that would be awesome. I think that may be a little too much to ask, but we'll see. All right, so and then again, the $150 level, you get all four of those custom handmade mini comics with that level. And then of course the big one, the one I believe it or not, I actually sold one, and there's only one of these, but this one features the original cover art for Young and the Dead #4, and that one I did sell. And some of these other, like last time around, I had a smaller audience, so some of the levels didn't even get backed. I don't think this larger level at 150 or whatever was similar got back, but I did. I managed to sell out of that big one. So I don't know if that's going to happen this time around. So real quick stretch goals. Let's see if we hit 15,000, 1,500. Sorry, we don't have to hit 15,000, just 1,500. We get some stickers thrown in, and that's not too far off. That's only like $200 more than the actual goal itself. So I hopefully, I mean, if we fund, chances are we'll be able to go a little higher, hit $200 more, and everyone will get stickers. And I don't know if these are going to be the actual stickers. They could be. Maybe I'll put them. Last time I put a thing out and had people vote on what stickers they liked. The only thing is I hesitate to do that because since I did do that the first time, if you're backing again, you may already have those stickers. So I may just do ones that weren't available in the first Kickstarter. Now this is something really cool. If we hit 2,500, and I did this last time, but I've got a new 3D print that I designed. This one's Professor Zombie's Hypno School, and these are really cool. If you back the first one and you got the 3D print, you're gonna really you know what I'm talking about. But these are like those old 3D comics that you used to get with the glasses. They come with the glasses and everything. If we hit 3,500, you get the trading card set, which is this is a 5-card pack. This is going to be series 2. So if you already have series 1, and a lot of times if you order, like sometimes if you order the comics on my website, I've been throwing in those some of those trading card sets. So this is your chance to get those trading cards. Now, I want to mention also, most of the things, most of the rewards and things that I have here, everything's already done. I mean, the comic's already done. So you're not going to have, like some Kickstarters, you have to wait a long time. This one, hopefully, maybe 2 months at the very most. I'm wanting to get this thing out to you guys as soon as possible. So you're not going to have to wait that long because it kind of sucks to have to wait. So I'm getting more stuff saying they pledged. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Let's see. So yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, so everything's pretty much done. I do have to work on some of the artwork for the cards, but again, that gives me content that I can share with you guys on YouTube or whatever. Also, right after the Kickstarter wraps up, I'm going on a trip, so I'm going to be on a plane for a while. I'm thinking about maybe investing in the iPad, and I might even work on some of these designs for these cards while I'm, have nothing to do, or I'm kind of in a plane. So I may do that then as well. And then we get into, and if we have to, I mean, if this goes better than my expectations and we go higher than this $4,000 mark, I'll come up with some additional stretch goals. But if you hit that, we'll get an extra sticker and we'll make a full card set, which I think we did. Last time we did get like a full set of what was it? I guess it's 7 cards, but we may throw in a few extra cards there anyway if we hit that. So let's see if we can, and I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. Give me a second so I can kind of move around, and let me know in the chat if my audio is good enough, if you guys can hear me and everything. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to get over here. This is a very crazy setup that I have. All right. So should I go back up and check where I'm at? I mean, you guys could probably tell me. I guess I have to refresh because this is just showing me. Oh, awesome. So yeah, we definitely got some pledges and everything. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So I'm going to hit this hard. And if you guys can share and everything, that's awesome. Okay, let's see where, let me see where I'm going to screen share. No, I'm going to go back to, let me quit this. How do we do this? How do we do this? Oh, okay. Let me stop here. Let me see where we are. All right. So you guys can see my drawing table. All right. I got a bunch of stuff here I'm going to show you. Let's see, can we, I wonder if we can get a little better view on this stuff here. All right, I think that's good. All right, do we have enough light here? Let me move that out of the way. All right, so first, before we start doing any zombie sketches, hold on. Actually, I'll move that out of the way, and I need to do something else here. All right. All right. Okay. So I just wanted to show you these real quick. Let me show it. Well, first off, I guess since the big thing is the comic itself, and this is kind of what I was just talking about. Hold on. There we go. All right. Okay. So these are the issues I have. Of course, like I said, I just launched issue number 4. But the cool thing is there's no ads or anything like that. It's just, it's a nice, I like matte finish. I don't like that glossy stuff. So I'm really happy. I went with a different printer for these, which I'm going to use for the rest of them. And I'm really happy with the way they came out. So these are the issues that I have so far. Let's see what we got. And then... all right, so this is the 3D print, the old 3D print. There's a new design now. And you can see it's actually got the red and the blue. So it is 3D. It works with the glasses and everything. This is the poster or the print that was available in the last Kickstarter. Like I said, the new one, we're going to get that kind of cool zombie mask. I thought that was fun. I always liked that stuff. I remember when I was a kid, went to Denny's, and they used to have masks and things as their placemats. So to me, that's just kind of a throwback to all, that stuff I used to love from the 80s. So the whole idea of this is very 80s centric. So let's see. So, and then this international backers, this is the last one for the international backers. And this was signed, and I usually put a stamp on the back, and then I sign and number these. So that kind of makes that exclusive only for the Kickstarter. In addition to, and also buttons. If you back internationally, you're going to get these buttons with that too. So you get a button pack. So hopefully that's worth the extra $20 you're spending on, for that shipping. As far as stretch goals, here we've got, this is the old set. So I'll just kind of show you these cards here. So hopefully we'll hit this stretch goal because I really like these cards. I'm going to get them out here. All right. So this, again, back to sort of that 80s nostalgia. We've got, all the different characters. And it's got that look of those old kind of Star Wars cards on the back. We've got fun facts and everything. So those are really cool. Hopefully we will hit that stretch goal. Oh, yes. Humphrey Bear says Burger King cardboard crown. Yeah, that. And also Burger King also had masks. They've always kind of had those crowns. I don't know if they still do, but back in the days, Burger King, I think, also had like masks. And in addition to just the Burger King, they had other characters too. Denny's had, I'm trying to remember, I know they had and you could probably Google this if you Google or go on Pinterest or whatever. And I did that once, and I was just brought back so many memories. But I know there was a knight in shining armor type mask. There was this one guy called I think he was called the Burgermeister or something like that, or Miser or something. Not to be confused with Burgermeister Burger from the Rankin and Bass children's shows. But anyway, so there was a bunch of cool stuff. I think there was probably a clown or whatever, but I just wanted to do something like that with a zombie. There was never a zombie in the Denny's menu. So, and ironically, I actually designed a Denny's menu way back in the day. It was sort of like a limited thing. It was only in certain, it was like regional, but it was sort of a cross promotion with the children's show that I produced back in the day. So that was kind of cool. But anyway, so just to give you an idea, here again are some of these, and I'm going to do a video where I kind of show you the process where I make the new one. But you can see kind of the work that goes into this. So considering this is all hand done, I definitely would say that this is worth, and they're signed, numbered, limited edition, $15 if you want to add one of these to your pledge. And you can add like after the fact too. I think you can always go in and change your pledge amount too if you decide that, you have a windfall or something. So anyway, so I'm not going to probably open it up. I might open the third one up because this one is a little hard to put back together. So I won't do that right now. And then like with the second issue, you've got sort of this like a noose, and then, the gatefold opens up. Let's see. This one maybe I can open up. The gatefold opens up, and then it reveals the inside of that. And then this one's kind of cool. So I try to come up with a different idea for each one, and it also has to kind of go with the cover. So here we go. Here's the sort of that, we've got kind of this cool welder's mask thing, as you can kind of see right here. The kid right here, he's wearing the welding mask as sort of protection from zombies and everything. But you get into there, and it's just a smaller kind of mini comic version. All right. So, and the other thing, certain tiers, you guys are going to get this, and this is what we're going to probably work on today, is a zombie sketch. So let's see. So we got this, and these are all 80s themed, of course. So hold on a second. Let me see if I can do this here. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So we've got, kind of the old Atari 2600 controller. Straighten that up. The guy with the boombox or beatbox, or whatever. I guess beatbox is more like if you're doing doing hip hop, making music with your mouth, make the music with your mouth biz, all that kind of stuff. But the old I don't know, is ghetto blaster, is that like a derogatory term now? I don't know. But like the boombox. That was, I had one. I think every kid in the 80s had one, and I had all kinds of crazy stickers, and I painted mine and graffitied it up. And man, I should get one. I wonder how hard they are to find nowadays, because it's just, those things are just super nostalgic. And there's another take on that same thing. This is the Lloyd Dobler zombie. Of course, the boombox is kind of falling apart and everything. And if you've seen Say Anything, or the poster for Say Anything, you know what that's all about. Oh, okay. So Matthew Instrom says Facebook is down for maintenance right now. Okay. Well, I picked a good time to launch my Kickstarter, I guess. Well, maybe I'll do some. Maybe I can do some kind of Facebook Live thing. I haven't done one of those. Maybe I'll try to do one of those once it gets back up. All right. Then we got the Rubik's Cube, and the Aroba size one. Of course, I had to throw in the old brick phone. And then, of course, kind of the LL Cool J hip hop guy with the Kangol. Got the Walkman and the punk rocker. So what are we going to do today? I got a couple ideas. I'll throw what ideas I have. You tell me if you like them. Or if you want to see something else. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of either Max Headroom. If you guys know who Max Headroom is, very iconic 80s. I'm trying to remember the actor's name. Is it? I wanted to say Miguel Fuhr, but I think that's a different actor. It's something similar to that. But anyway, Matt Fuhr, I think. Anyway, but there was actually a show, like a sci-fi kind of show. It's kind of cyberpunk. This may have been sort of the beginning of cyberpunk. I mean, Max Headroom may be the kind of the start of cyberpunk. I don't know, but he was that guy. It was kind of this visual thing, and he did a lot of Coke commercials, and it was just sort of this. It looked very choppy and digital, and it was like this transmission from some other world or something. The other one that I'm thinking about is Mr. T. So what do you guys think? A Max Headroom zombie and Mr. T? I may do both of them eventually, but for now, why is this doing? Hold on, I'm having some technical issues here. I'm just trying to pull up some reference for either one of these characters so I can kind of see what they look like. because it's been a long time since I've drawn. I have drawn both Mr. T and Max Headroom before. So I don't know if I don't get anything in the chat. Yeah, okay, Jesse Corner says, Matt Fewer, yes, you're right. Hopefully I said that before you put in that, because that will make me feel a lot smarter, because trivia is like a big thing. I love trivia, especially 80s pop culture. So hopefully I got that right before you chimed in, because I honestly did not see that when I said who it was. Totally Max Headroom or Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to think. Pepsi did, there's like, I thought about doing Michael Jackson, and I may, well, now there's so much, well, there's always sort of been controversy surrounding Michael Jackson, but if you can separate the controversy from, I mean, because obviously 80s icon, but, you know, in Thriller, he was a zombie already. So if I did Michael Jackson, it would be probably maybe a different outfit, like the Beat It outfit, as opposed to the Thriller. I've got Mr. Z. I assume, oh, Mr. Z, like Mr. T, but a zombie. I like that. Okay, so we got a few different votes on each one. So I don't know. Do I have a coin? I don't have a coin. Can I flip a kneaded eraser? We got the Prismacolor. I don't know if this will work, if it'll just fall flat. Let me drop it one. No, it's just gonna fall flat. Well, maybe if I bounce it hard enough. I don't know. I don't have a coin. That's all right. Let's see. So I'm going to go with the next one. Next person that chimes in, because we got one of each. The next person chimes in, either Mr. T or, okay, we got two Mr. T's. All right, we got three. All right, Mr. T it is. So we're going to go with Mr. T here. Hold on a second. Let me see. How do I do this? All right. All right, let's go for it. All right, I'm gonna sharpen this thing up. So before I kind of get into this, and I don't know how long we'll go or how, but you know what's cool is I don't usually do live streams this early, because usually when I do the art cast, it's later on in the night, and it seems definitely, I don't know if it's just because this is an event, but there's definitely a lot more people in the chat now, and I see some people from other countries. We got people from India. That's super cool. I know from Spain and just all over the place, which is awesome. All right. So let's see. I just want to see if there's any questions before I start. Let's see. A lot of people saying they're contributing to the Kickstarter. Yeah, what Marshall says, early April Fools. He's not really launching today. No, we got it. We got it. So I don't see, it doesn't look like there's any questions. Just wait, we got something from Peter. Not sure why Facebook isn't showing your project, question mark. Okay, yeah. So we've kind of established that. I guess Facebook is down. If you guys in the chat, because I'm going to be drawing, but if you guys, and by then it's probably, it might be too late for me to post to Facebook, because I'm already have been live here for a while. All right, so let's go. So unfortunately, you know, anytime I sketch, it's light in the beginning. So we're gonna oops, there goes my stylus. And this is the part where it gets quiet, because it's, you know, it's a little hard for me to draw and talk at the same time. I can do it sometimes, but yeah, I was a huge fan of Mr. T growing up. I loved, you know, of course, Rocky was the bad guy, but then once, so as a kid, I may not have liked him so much in Rocky because he was a bad guy. But, you know, once the A-Team and everything, of course, that cheesy Mr. T cartoon show. So just kind of getting some sketching here. He's so, I mean, you talk about, what were we talking about on something? We were talking about branding and just, you know, getting, or maybe I wasn't talking about, maybe I was listening to something on branding. Oh yeah, I was listening to, if any of you guys are more designers, if you if you listen to the Honest Designer podcast, which is an awesome podcast, especially if you're a designer. I know most people that watch me more comic centric, but I like to kind of do comics and design. But they actually gave me a little shout out, which is cool because it's a pretty big podcast. But they were talking about my branding with, obviously with the mad science theme and everything. But then they mentioned like Mr. Rogers. There's certain people like just Mr. Rogers, or like who else am I thinking of? Like why isn't the name coming to my Bob Ross? They've just got certain vibes around them. But and I mean, you look at a picture of Bob Ross and you know immediately who it is, or Mr. Rogers or whatever, because they have, and it's not like intentional. They're just kind of themselves, which is good. But they do have a brand associated with them. And if there's anyone, you could say about that from the 80s, it is Mr. T. He definitely has his own thing. You couldn't just try to duplicate Mr. T's brand, because it would be so obvious that that's what you're trying to do, because he just has that look. And okay, so I'm looking, we got from Canada. Jesse Corner says he's from Canada, or I guess Jesse could be male or female. So it looks like from the from the avatar. Yeah, that's the hardest thing about this stuff. And I know I'm sure I've talked to Jesse before on the chat and everything. So let's see what we got. Let's see. And let's see. So right now it could be anyone, and it's not as much of a zombie look yet, but Mr. T's he's going to have tons of the gold chains. And I'll probably, I'll do, I don't know how much of the body, I'm going to show. Probably not a whole lot. But I think he's usually has a pretty big cross here. Now we got to start zombieing him up a little bit. So certain things that I try to do with mine is kind of have the flesh peeled back a little bit, exposing maybe some skull and a little brain there. A lot of like, so when I think people turn into zombies, like depending on the sort of the genre you're going for, I tend to think they kind of break out a little bit too, like boils and things might start appearing before they, so not just decaying, but also other things. Like I've seen a couple of images of these zombies that it's just really weird, like just their face starts to deform, like almost like got weird cauliflower type, protrusions on their faces. Like this is a crazy virus that, does that type of thing. So I don't go that far, but it's kind of a cool look. So of course, Mr. T's got to have the beard, but unfortunately, that's gonna cover some of where we would want all our, what do you call it? Like I want this to be a little more like it's the beard a little crazier, like it's just out of control. Gotta give him sort of the big eyebrows. And as you can tell, it doesn't look so much like him yet, because we haven't done the crucial thing, I think, is Mr. T's trademark, which is the mohawk. And then he's got some earrings too. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so now I got to start kind of zombifying. Well, I might as well just go for the gold and start with the mohawk here. We'll ink this thing too, so don't worry about, you'll be able to see a little better in a minute. All right, so now because he's a zombie, I want him to be a little, show the bones a little more than normally. I mean, he's got, I might have his mouth open just a little bit with some rotting teeth. It may make him look a little less like Mr. T, but somehow we got to find sort of a happy medium. All right, and then I always like to kind of make the, you know, under the eyes more baggy when they're zombies. The kind of above the brow, I like that to come out a little more. And let's see. What else can we do here? I don't know I'm afraid if I go, sometimes zombies look better without the nose. So let me do that a little bit. Go here. Yeah, I think that looks better. It's unfortunately it's starting to look a little less like Mr. T, I think, but hopefully, just because, like I said, he is so iconic, that a gold tooth. Well, he's definitely got a tooth. I don't know if I'm going to color it, but we can say that it's gold. Does he have gold teeth? I know he's got gold everything else. So, and speaking of, let's put like a little. I like to put like little, not bites out of, but you know, out of the ear, like it's rotting away. And then maybe make his lips a little chapped, like so. We'll draw some lines in there because they're all dried out. Can't really see the oh, and then his hair, where it comes back up here, kind of stops there. So we'll do that. Now, I don't know. Sometimes I like, I think I'm going to get rid of, because we can see I put the pupils in there, but if you look at the other ones, I didn't do that. So that's something else I'm going to do. Sometimes I like to make one eye a lot bigger. So I'm going to get rid of, I think zombies, for whatever reason, a lot of times sometimes can look better without pupils. And we're going to make one eye a little bit larger, because it's like the skin is just kind of falling down. Don't make that eye a little larger. Yeah, I like it better without the, and I don't know why, but to me now that kind of makes him look a little more like Mr. T. Does it? I don't know. All right, so let's see. So let's get another patch of some rotting flesh up here. And then I like to kind of show the some of the muscle tissue up in here. And we'll just do some more kind of lines. And okay, so now I have to figure out how much detail I want to put in the rope chains here. This is something that I used to do in high school, because I was very much into hip hop at high school. So I would draw a lot of rappers and stuff. So just this idea of this kind of braided chain. So it's funny how you learn to draw that kind of stuff and it never really leaves your repertoire. This is, I mean, this I'm dealing, these are a little more sketchy, so it's not going to be, I mean, I could take more time with it, but I just want to kind of get the basic idea. And maybe a chain that's sort of a little different style, just this link, and then maybe another sort of rope chain. Oh my God. You know what? So the feather earring too. Yes. And that's right. And the ironically, the reference that I'm looking at, he's not wearing that feather earring, but that's definitely it. So yes, we got to have the feather earring. So I'm just going to, hopefully that looks somewhat like what it looks like. Does he have two? I can't remember if he has two. I'll just say just in case he doesn't wear one on each ear, I'm going to say that the other one is hiding behind there if he does have a different one. I could look up more reference, but I'm not going to do that right now. Just going to stick to what I'm doing. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate the compliment. What else we got in here? Anything else going on? So it's, yeah, it's cool that there's so many people in the chat, especially it's like different people that I see, because like some people, especially on the East Coast, they just can't do the Artcasters because it's so late. And earlier on, I saw Marshall Lee chime in, and he's kind of in that boat where it's just too late. We really want to get Marshall on the Artcasters, but we may have to just kind of make some kind of exception where we do a pre-recorded or something, or early show or something, just so we can get him on, because we've been trying to get him on for a while, but his schedule doesn't work. And I'm sure he's probably back at work now, but it was cool to at least just for a little bit see him chime in. If you guys haven't seen Marshall Lee's channel, it's Marsh Makes Art. Definitely go check that out. He's doing just awesome stuff. He's doing a lot of mini comics and 24 hour, not 24 hour, but like 1 hour comics, which is totally insane for me. All right, what do we got here? So let's do, I like, sometimes he has like sort of the camouflage. I'm just going to kind of show that a little bit, but not too much. I'm going to maybe show that the shirt's kind of ripping a little bit here. And I don't know, I think we can leave that at that. That's probably good enough for the sketch. And let's go ahead and start inking it in. So I got my brush pen. If you've been watching the videos on the comic book challenge videos, I've been, for the 100 days, I've been doing, I went kind of back to using an actual brush and ink. But for these sketches, I really do like the brush pen. So, and they're, you know, obviously they're quicker and they're portable. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention, and it's not totally finalized, but it probably will be finalized today, I think. I've got to go to my local comic store, but we were talking about maybe doing a signing. So I don't know how many of you guys are local to Arizona, and more specifically local to Surprise, Arizona, which is probably, even if you are in Arizona, it's probably a little further west than maybe you are. But if you want to make the trek out to Surprise Comics, I think I'm going to be doing a signing, and I'll post this on Facebook, assuming that Facebook gets back up and running. I'll post where you can be, but where you can go. But it'll probably be, assuming that everything, we've kind of already talked about it, and they mentioned they wanted to do it this weekend. So assuming that nothing's changed, it will probably be Saturday, probably from 11 to maybe like 2 or something. And I'll be doing more of these zombie sketches. You can actually pick one up in person. And I'll have the previous books with me and some other zombie stuff. I probably won't bring all my wares because I want to concentrate more on the comic. But I wonder if I should, you know what, just to be safe, I'm going to get my little smudge guard glove on, because I don't want to smudge this thing, especially when I'm doing sketches and I'm moving fast. Sometimes I tend to do that. So, Sunday morning cartoon. Okay, so let's see. So Tim, I don't call it Saturday morning cartoons or Sunday morning cartoons. Are you referencing what I said or something somebody else said in the chat? Oh, Marsh is here. So that's awesome. Well, I guess I think your job kind of entails where you're kind of on the road a lot, I guess. So hopefully, or maybe you're on lunch, I don't know. But I'm glad to see you in the chat, Marshall. Popping in and out. Yeah, I used to do that too when I had the day job. Like when some of my friends would go live and everything, I would it was mostly listening because I couldn't, I don't know, different jobs are different ways. Like when I worked for a game company, there was no issue with like watching like even YouTube videos or doing anything while you were working. And then when I kind of went into doing stuff for the craft industry, it was a little bit different. They weren't as cool about it, but they, you know, as long as you were doing your work. But I kind of had the video off and just listened to the audio. But you know, I guess what can you expect? But yeah, the gaming industry they were really cool with just pretty much, you know, it was all results based. So as long as you got your work done and you delivered it on time, and plus we were doing games like social games, so by nature we were, you know, you had to be on social media, so you know, Facebook, all that stuff, and no one ever really abused it. I think when you allow people a little bit of freedom, I don't think they're as likely to abuse that freedom. But that's just me. So I don't know. I mean, I'm more, you know, of the opinion that, and different jobs are different ways, but I am really enjoying kind of back to kind of working for myself. So, you know, not, you know, financially probably not as great as I was this time last year, but I'm definitely a lot happier. So, all right, let's see what we got here. But yeah, I love doing this kind of inking and stuff. For me, this is just super fun. An early morning show. Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah, on the weekend. Okay, yeah. The problem is, you know, just because, you know, also, you know, we got family life and stuff, and it's not just me, it's also Josh, but I'm sure, you know, I'm sure we wouldn't have an issue doing a show like that. I'd be curious to see how many. I have to imagine we probably have a lot more people chiming in, which would be cool. So, but yeah. I mean, the Artcasters and the 24-hour art check that Josh and Corey do. If you haven't checked that out, I'm on there quite regularly. Usually on Mondays, I try to join the art check. Josh was out this week, so it was just me and Corey. And actually, we talked a little bit about the Kickstarter, which, I mean, I was kind of hoping that I would be live, or I was going to go live the next day. So hopefully, I know I mentioned that I was going to go live on Tuesday before on the last Artcasters. So I hope no one was like, got there and was like, what's going on here? Oh, you know what? Can somebody in the chat do me a huge favor? Because I just want to make sure that my link works. Because if you just type in Young and the Dead, not the Young and the Dead, but just youngandthedead.com, let me know if it takes you to the Kickstarter, because I routed it to, it's kind of going all over the place if it works. I routed it to the preview image of the campaign before it started. And it said that preview, once the campaign goes live, that preview image would reroute to the actual image. But right now I've got all my links set up to go to youngandthedead.com, which will forward to that preview image, which should forward back to the Kickstarter. So I just want to make sure all that stuff works. All right, Marsh says it works. Thank you, Marshall. Appreciate it. Good. So I don't have to worry about doing any more with that. And was it like seamless, or did it take a little while? I don't know. Let's see. I got to start getting into some of put a little more dark colors in here. Now, hopefully this will dry fast enough when I go to do the Copic markers. Copic. Did I say it right? Is it Copic? I think it's Copic. Yeah, I get so much. Oh man, you wouldn't believe I get so much flack on that, because if I say Copic, people are really concerned with semantics, and most people say Copic, but I've heard some people say that it could be either or, and I've heard some people say that it depends where you're from. Like, so I thought somebody said in Australia it's Copic, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But is it really that big a deal? I mean, if I put out a video that's trying to give all this information about, you know, if you're kind of missing the point if you're just concerned that I'm mispronouncing something, and I'm, you know, while I'm trying to give all this value, like which marker should you get, what works with what. If you're so concerned about the name of it, I think you've got some issues there. So, and then I did have somebody joke around saying that I pronounced Prismacolor wrong too. So, and I said, well, I think I pronounced Uhuhu wrong, and you know, pretty much every marker I probably pronounce wrong. So that's kind of my thing, I guess. And what's weird is when they chime in the chat, it's like, because you're not, they'll say it's Copic, not Copic, but they'll spell it the same way, you know, or they'll try to pronounce it phonetically, but it doesn't look any different when you try to spell it out. So it's like, what are you saying? But anyway, that's sort of a pet peeve. I don't get a lot of negative stuff, really. I guess I try to put some positive stuff out there every once in a while, but for YouTube anyway, because YouTube usually they always say don't read the comments, and I've been reading the comments and I've been answering the comments, and so far it's not too bad. But yeah, there are a lot of people who are very concerned about semantics or mispronouncing things, and I do that all the time because I just kind of, you know, I do free form, and sometimes, and I feel bad because that's why I don't like to do like straight tutorials, because I'm afraid I'm going to get a terminology wrong or something. And because anytime that I'm trying to follow a tutorial, especially with technology, because maybe it's just a little bit older and they've updated something and it's not spelled out very clear, I'm like, where is this button? And it says there's a button here that I'm supposed to push, and I cannot find this button. So I get very frustrated. So that's why I don't really like to do like straight tutorials where it's like you do this step, then this step, then this step. I just kind of like to give advice, general advice for the most part. It's pronounced relish. Am I pronouncing that right? Hopefully. All right. Oh yeah. So here we go. We got got to do that cool feathered earring. That's the good thing about these brush pens. The whole idea of feathering works really well when you're drawing a feather. Isn't that ironic? All right, cool. All right, so now let's get into, I did all the cool stuff first. Now I got to do the boring stuff. I should have done this earlier so I could leave something to the kind of more anticipation, or leave something to the imagination. But I'm going to try to kind of blow through this kind of quick. This is, after all, a sketch. And like I said, you could get this sketch. There are sketch tiers available where you can get one of these sketches. So, and I may be giving away some of these too. I might do some promotions where I can give away a sketch. I think I am, and I don't know if I'll post that today or not, but I will be doing a promotion where if you share it on Facebook, assuming that Facebook is not dead and it comes back to life, I'll have like a little thing where you can share it. Also, yeah, I also did another contest for some of my digital products for my 10,000 subscriber video. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll get to that this week, but that's coming up. We'll announce the winners for that. I'll do that live. But yeah, so that's a thing that will be coming out. Yeah, there should be some more content on the YouTube channel coming up. So if you're starved for content from me, then you will get some more. And if you have enough, then brace yourself. You might have to go dark for my channel because I'm probably going to be posting a lot more. Oh yeah, Robert Johnson wants to know if anyone remembers the old Mr. T cartoon, man. Yeah, the theme song, Mr. T. Dun, 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 dun. Absolutely, I love that show. It was corny, but yeah, I did watch the Mr. T cartoon. There's no doubt about that. kind of like it's funny because that whole formula, you know, it's Mr. T. He's teaming up with a group of gymnists, and then you know, and you'd have different things like that. It was like, but they also had of course, they had the dog with the mohawk and everything. But like, I don't think Mr. T and I was going to say Mr. T and his amazing friends. What was it called? What was that show actually called? Was it just Mr. T? I don't know what it was, what the actual title was. Maybe just Mr. T Show or something. I don't remember. But they always had the, you know, like, of course, you've got the animal character, and you've got the group of teenagers. And I don't know if they were, some of the gymnasts might have been younger or whatever, but it was, you know, Captain Planet. It always had that group of kids hanging around, whether they're solving mysteries or they're in a band or whatever. That was definitely a trope of 70s and 80s Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And but there's so many of that, almost any one of these, especially when you get the celebrities. I'm trying to think of all the different celebrity cartoons there were. Cartoons, and sometimes they were based on TV show. Like they would take a TV show like Gilligan's Island, and it would be, they change it to Gilligan's Planet, and they'd be out on a spaceship and they get stranded in space or whatever. And then there was like, they would do Happy Day. Wait, Happy Days was in space too, I think, wasn't it? I don't remember. It was the Fonz, and he had like a dog, you know, all that. Oh, no, the Fonz, I think Fonz is more, I think of the Fonz more as 70s. So I don't know if I would put, even though I think the whole term jump the shark happened in the 80s. So I think by that time, Happy Days was kind of, yeah, had run its course for the most part. But so I also thought, I was thinking $6 Million Man, but of course that definitely I equate more to the 70s as well. All right, I mean, I could probably end this here. I could make a little more black here. Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Oh, that was another one. And you know, I'm trying to think, there were other ones, like they would have like a comedian or a character that a comedian did, and they would make, like Howie Mandel had Bobby's World. John Candy had something called Camp Candy, where he was a camp counselor. Martin Short had Ed Grimley's Misadventures or something, which was, I remember that being really good. I used to love Martin Short and Ed Grimley and stuff like that. But yeah, there were a lot of those, man. I'm sure they're all on YouTube. So just put some scratch on there. Hopefully that's good enough. Let's see. Hopefully it'll look a little better also once I start bringing up I'm going to wait just a little, just give it a little time to dry before I start adding any color or anything like that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do signature. So I usually sign all my stuff Circ and then the date. And even though, like, my brother draws sometimes, I don't think he puts Circ, but I think he puts his whole name. I used to put my whole name, but I don't know, because it's Serkworks, and I don't know. Sometimes my friends just call me Circ. That's what I sign it by. I used to draw my S backwards, and then eventually I stopped doing that. All right, let's see. Let me kind of go in the chat. I don't know how long we've been going. I want to pop this open here. I don't know. I wish YouTube would tell you how long you've been running, like when you're doing a live thing here. Anything I missed? Let's see. Chuck Norris, Karate Commandos. Yep, that was one too. Police Academy had a cartoon. Yeah, there were a lot of them. Man, there's so many of them. And even like, and a lot of like teen pop idols had them too. I don't know if the Partridge Family had one. That was more 70s. I know the Jackson 5 had a cartoon. The Beatles had, I think they had a cartoon other than, you know, obviously that was, you know, that was probably 60s, probably, maybe. but I know they did Yellow Submarine, but I think they had a cartoon too. And then, you know, even like, you know, like I said, Jackson 5, I think even like New Kids on the Block had a cartoon. Man, that would be, I got to watch that. That's got to be funny, man. Some of these things, but a lot of the stuff is just kind of like flash in the pan type stuff that was super popular at the time. So that's got to be funny to look back and see, you know, how that kind of, I hesitate to say how it holds up because I don't really like that phrase so much, because you have to kind of, when you're watching stuff like that, you kind of have to put yourself in the time that it was created, and in order to sometimes enjoy it. Because it's like when you watch, like if you were like, Psycho's a movie that I don't even, actually, to be honest, I don't know if I've seen Psycho. I saw the remake, which, you know, if you want to watch for the first time, you don't want to watch the remake. But there's certain things like, well, Exorcist was a good example. So I watched Exorcist later on, after I had already seen all the people that kind of borrowed from it, and you saw all the tropes. So you knew a little bit about it. So it just didn't have the same impact. So I think when you watch a movie like that, you kind of have to say, you have to put yourself in that kind of frame of mind where it's like, okay, I'm watching a movie that there was nothing like this before when it came out. And there were several things after it since, and you've seen all those things. So even though this may seem a little old, I think John Carter from Mars, that movie that bombed big time based on the Edgar Rice Burroughs story, I think when that came out, one of the biggest problems was everyone had already seen something like that, even though the story John Carter came before Star Wars. It came before all that stuff. But there was so much stuff in that movie that's like, yeah, I've seen this. This is nothing new. But in the terms of the pulp books and everything, it was new back then. That's what sparked this other stuff like Star Wars and all these other things that you've seen. So by the time you get around to making a movie from what was sort of that original source material, it kind of seems like passe and like this has all been done and everything. So, but that's kind of like a weird thing. All right, let's see what we got here. So I've got my Covix, and I've got my Artist Loft. Now I did a review on Artist Loft, but at one thing because when you do a review, you're using the tools just fresh out the box, and you don't really have the you don't have the benefit of knowing how they hold up over time. And Artist Lofts, you know, they're cheap and they have the brush pen, and you know they're good in a pinch, but in a lot of ways they kind of suck, to be honest. Like this thing is so frayed, and I hardly. Well, is that no? That's not the one. Where's the other one? Oh, where's that? Oh, this one here. So they're not all bad, but you gotta. It's a gamble. I don't know if you can see this, but that's what we're dealing with there. That's supposed to be a brush tip. Yeah, it's just horrible. So you kind of got to be careful, but they are cheap. So, you know, it's a little bit of a gamble. All right, let's go. Let's start. See if we can, hopefully it won't smudge. Hopefully we've given it enough time to dry. And I don't know if you guys can hear outside. We got the trash collector coming by picking up. So that might be a little loud. Hopefully you can hear that. All right. Yeah, I like the coloring part's fun. And it's just, you know, I don't get too crazy, you know. These are, after all, sketches. So the idea is that we're just not, you know, just kind of dropping in, you know, almost like you would like a watercolor or something like that. So while I'm, you know, we're getting close to wrapping this up. So I want to know, I don't know, you guys have any questions or anything that you want to know about? Anything that anything about the campaign of the Kickstarter that I didn't mention that you have questions about, or anything in general, let me know in the chat. Try to get the beard. We'll color in the beard, and we're going to go in with some darker markers too. That one darker artist loft marker is the one that kind of gave me some issues, but I think I can use it to fill in that there. So yeah, I gotta, let's see. I've been so focused on the Kickstarter that I've, I've got a lot of catching up to doing some freelance stuff. So now that I've launched it, the pressure for the most part is off. I mean, I'm still gonna have to keep maintaining this, and you got to do all that stuff with Kickstarters. But yeah, I'm gonna go out to my comic store later. I usually just buy, like, mostly I've got most of the alternate titles in my box, and I've got Eden #4, which we had Eric Henson, which is local to where I live, and he did a signing. He just released. I got it in advance because he had already scheduled the signing, and so he had his copies. So I was able to get Eden #4, which I still haven't read yet. It's on my nightstand. It's like I gotta read that, but I've been so busy with everything else, I haven't had time to even read a comic. But that's a great comic, and his artwork is so awesome. But I'm going to try to I want to try to get together with him and Vincent DePorter, who's another local artist. He is the artist of SpongeBob Comics, or was, and he's just amazing, and he just flips from so many different styles. He's one of those guys that he's really good at licensed stuff because he can just adapt and do almost anything. I just saw him post there was a sketchbook cover. It was the Fantastic Four, but he did all the four stars of Seinfeld in sort of that Mad Magazine caricature style. And oh man, it looks just so awesome. He can do portraits. He just does it all. So I'm going to hopefully get together. I want to get together with those guys, and because I've got to get some work done on my anthology project. So it might be cool to get together with them and do something. All right, so this is that frayed one, but it's dark. So, and luckily we want this to kind of be messed up anyway. So hopefully that'll come in handy. I mean, sometimes messed up brushes give you a particular look. So don't always like throw them out or anything, but it is kind of problematic too. So the eyebrows in there. All right, so there's that, and then I don't know. We can hit some highlights here. See, I got this. So I've always recommended this Sino gel pen. This here is a jelly roll. Sinos, maybe they just don't have much ink in them, but sometimes I have problems. Now, so far the jelly roll, which doesn't, I mean, it looks like an inferior pen just because it's slimmer, and it's like, it doesn't look like it's, I don't know, but it is from Japan, which, for what, Japan makes awesome art supplies. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just like, what are we doing here in the States? And, it just doesn't seem, some of the stuff is just, it's like, why can't we make stuff like this? Like, I love the manga inks better than any of the, I guess, I don't know if they're American brands or European or whatever, but man, I like the manga stuff. But yeah, so far I kind of like these jelly rolls. I don't want to do too much highlights because zombies really aren't shiny, but he does have the, oh yeah, we do want to get highlights because we want highlights on the gold. I want that to look shiny. So how I almost missed that, I have no idea. All right. So I don't know. That's that might about wrap it up. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna see about going back over to where is my Kickstarter here so I can see where we're at. Let's see. I'm gonna refresh it here. All right, so we're doing pretty well. We're at here. I'll go ahead and share the screen. All right, so right now we're at $366, which is pretty good. I think at this pace we're gonna meet the goal. But you know, I showed you guys some of the cool rewards and extras. So I'm hoping we get higher, obviously, because you know that's what I'm trying to do is raise money. The other thing is I really do want to get some of this extra stuff out to you, and we did. You know, we definitely hit the goal last time. My initial goal, I think it's fairly modest, but you know, I'm not like a huge, you know, YouTube guy. I got to definitely have a bigger audience than before. And again, we've got Facebook is down, so I can't promote on Facebook right now, but I'm going to start to promote more. And I do really appreciate everyone that's already backed the project. But you know, and if you, like I said before, if you can back, that's awesome. If you can't, then if you could share it, and I'll put more stuff out online, like once we do Facebook. And like I said, I'm going to do a contest where you can win one of the sketches, one of the zombie sketches, if you share, you know, if you share the image and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be doing more of this as we go. I'll have more YouTube comments and everything. But you know, obviously the beginning is crucial. So, you know, I know some people kind of have to wait and see where everything's at, but if you're kind of on the fence, or if you like, well, you're trying to decide what to do, that backing in the beginning really does help, and it helps kind of hopefully Kickstarter take notice. I don't know if they're going to take notice of me because I'm a fairly smaller project and everything, but we'll see. You know, anything can happen. It'd be cool, you know, if I got featured or something, but we'll see. But right now, I mean, this is super awesome. Thank you to everyone in the chat and everything. Thanks for coming on and hanging out with me live. And yeah, there's just a lot of other stuff I've been working on this Kickstarter for so long. It's like I've been neglecting some other things, so I got to get back on that. And I've got more promotion to do, and we'll see what's going on with Facebook. Come on, Facebook, why you do this to me? I am not. If you know me, you probably heard I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. And it's, you know, this isn't necessarily their fault or anything, whatever's going on there, but it just, yeah, on top of everything else. But yeah, I'll probably even run some, once they get up, I'll probably even run some Facebook ads and things and see how that does. But definitely I'm definitely doing better, I think, than I was the first time around. So that's awesome. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for letting me kind of share what the campaign is all about. Thanks for hanging out with me while I'm drawing zombies, and I'll be doing more of these. I guess I'll have to start posting some of these on Instagram. I wonder if Instagram's down. That's a Facebook thing too. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to know, like if you're on the campaign, you think about backing, like, well, what's this? What is actually, what do I get with this or whatever? Don't hesitate to send me an email or anything like that. I really do appreciate all the support. And yeah, I'll probably, what's today? Wednesday. So tomorrow, I'm imagining the Artcasters will be tomorrow. So I'll talk a little bit more about that then. And yeah, I haven't talked to Josh. I know he's been sick, so hopefully he's got a guest lined up. If he doesn't have a guest lined up, if you are in the 100s, and you are in the anthology, and we haven't had you on the show yet, definitely hit Josh or myself up, because we'd like to get you on the show. Like I said, I don't know if he has anyone lined up yet for this week, but if he doesn't, we'll get you on the next week. And there's a few people out there that haven't reached out to me yet, but I am going to reach out to you because maybe you're a little shy or you're hesitant or for whatever reason. But yeah, there's some people I definitely want to get on the show, but don't wait for me. Just contact us. And yeah, with that, I'm probably going to go ahead and sign off. And thanks again for everyone hanging out with me live. It's really cool to do something like this at a different time. lot more action and stuff going on in the chat. So thanks so much. And let's see, where are we at? Okay, I am about to close this thing down. So yeah, tell your friends about the Kickstarter if they like 80s nostalgic stuff, if they like zombies, if they like kids fighting zombies, if they like Stranger Things, if they like Goonies, if they like Monster Squad, if they like just 80s nostalgia. There's a lot. It's just, this story is just packed with that. From all the characters to just the stuff in the backgrounds and everything. If you like that kind of stuff, I think you're really going to dig the comic. And issue 4 is pretty cool, continuation of that. There's a lot of action in this one, and things start coming together, and then we're heading down. We're getting ready to kind of start wrapping this thing up, and I'm super excited for the future of this thing and everything. But yeah, this is a super fun issue, and like I said, all the issues previous, if you don't have them, are also available in this campaign. So consider backing if you already have. Thank you. Consider sharing, helping me get this thing out there, and I will see you guys later. And that is all.